What's up, guys? This is Spencer with Lead Junkies. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about battle belts. We have Isaac here and Blake here. They're going to tell us a little bit about their battle belt, and we're going to compare and contrast about what works for them and what works for me. And we're just kind of go through everything and describe why we did what we did and how everything works. So let's jump right into it.
The main thing with a belt is it's your first line gear. You know, it's not a complete loadout. It's a baseline for what you're wanting to build out.
We're more than likely to use our everyday carry, but having a battle belt like this is going to allow you to get out of the range and drill reloads and drill just running your handgun and rifle in combination.
Right,
That's kind of the main thing.
I think a huge benefit in having this is being able to pick this up, slap it on, and just train. Get out with your friends and be able to put this on and just get comfortable with something like this. Isaac's right. You're gonna probably use your everyday carry more so than anything else. But the reason why we have this is probably number one is being a prepared civilian and learning how to use these things. So I guess we're gonna hop right into Blake. I guess you can start and tell us a little bit about your belt. Why you have just tell us about it, man.
Not really much to tell about it. I mean, you kind of go through your basics. You know, you have your at least 2 pistol reloads, your holster, of course. I usually recommend 1 rifle. If you can squeeze 2, all the better. I mean, I've never heard somebody complain about having too much ammo. Personally, I think we're pretty much all using STAC Kiwis, at least for the pistol reloads. They're not a super expensive option, but they're really solid for just retention and just kind of a basic, good mag carrier. They're relatively low profile, because that's another thing too. You can kind of get away from yourself with battle belts is just adding too much bulky stuff to it, and you have your snag hazard all day. You see a lot of people that kind of throw a little too much at it. I think I'm kind of towing the line myself even. But going past that, just a dump pouch. If you're doing any kind of drills like we're talking about with retaining mags, it's just a good thing to have. Instead of just throwing them on the ground behind you, you actually got somewhere to just quickly dump them and get to where you're getting. IFAK, medical in general, that's a big thing you're going to want to keep on all your belts. I have my TQ carrier separate just because I like having that rapid access to it, but for your belt IFAK, don't overdo it, basic stop the bleed, burn dressings, chest seals, stuff like that. You really don't have to go too hard on it. Just make sure, more or less, this is this is for you, this is not for anybody else, so whatever you think you might deal with, better hope that your guy next to you knows how to use it. From a civilian standpoint, like I said, just don't overthink it.
Cool. All right, so on mine, it's kind of the same setup. So obviously STAC for the mag holders. Obviously a double pistol, just like Blake, and just a single rifle mag. A dump pouch, obviously right here. IFAK, and I think Blake's is different, the way his is secured, but this inner piece for my everyday carry, so that way, and I do what you just described, I keep this belt in the car with me, so that way if I do ever need it, I have my rifle that I keep in the car with me, and so if something happens and need be, God forbid, I can slap this belt on over the top, pull my EDC out if I have the opportunity. Very unlikely, but hey, it's nice to have it, be able to slap it on over and just go to work.
There's a lot of great brands for that. That AWS Gear one is really solid. I think it's what your outer belt is too, right? Blue Alpha Gear makes a great one. What was that? I'm blanking on a third, but there's 2 at least.
Yeah. IFAK, this is Condor. Which one is yours?
Condor 2, yeah.
So they're both Condor. For my tourniquet is here instead of here. He has like a Kydex style holder for his tourniquet, and then obviously, like you said, IFAK, just your basics. I have 2 glow sticks up front, and then a quick quad and different stuff to stop bleeding, like kind of very similar to what Blake has. Obviously, the Safariland holster, and Blake again. What is the?
I think it's the 6345 RDS. It's just a basic level 2 retention holster. It's kind of the gold standard. It's a weird thing to get used to with that ALS thumb lock if you're coming off of more of like a competition style holster like Isaac's running here, but that added retention is a good thing. I mean, you don't want somebody getting that pistol away from you. And another thing too about like the IFAK pouches and all that, I gotta say, at least for the dump pouch, IFAK, things like that, you really don't have to go crazy on the brand, I mean, you can ball out and get you a Blue Force gear or some Cry Precision crap, whatever, but for the average civilian, Condor stuff is just fine.
Absolutely. So yeah, that kind of just wraps mine up. So we'll
So
transition.
Yeah, transitioning to me. I mean, I'm going to be another kind of echo of everything they've said. I'm running a blue Alpha Gear belt. I've also got the blue Alpha Gear EDC belt. Same thing, be able to slap that on whenever I need. Running Safari Land setup as far as my holster retention method. Is that what y'all are running as well?
Yeah.
The QLS fork. Yeah.
QLS fork. So if you've got multiple firearms, you can swap that in. I'm running a thigh strap as well. I mean, everything else on the belt is going to match up with them. I've got an IFAK that is right behind the pistol. I can easily access and pull out my IFAK, tourniquet. Everything in my IFAK is going to be, you know, stop the bleed stuff. There's chest seals, quick clot, and just emergency dressings, and then it means to bandage that onto you.
Yep.
Beyond that, got a dump pouch here. The only thing that differs from you two is I've got a Kydex 5.56 mag carrier, and then I've got the STAC Kiwi twin block carrier. And then I also like to keep a multi-tool in here. If I'm ever at the range and I needed to zero an optic, change something around, fix something, I've got a blade on here, I've got pliers. And if I needed to, throw another pistol mag in there. But I generally will keep a multi-tool in there, 2 pistol reloads, rifle reload, dump pouch, IFAK, and then nothing more. I like to have tape. I almost never use it, but it's always there. If I need to tape something up in the middle of the woods, it's nice to have. Right. And that's really the gist of it. I mean, we pretty much all echoed the same thing.
Yeah.
And really,
Pistol,
I mean, just to kind of
reload,
put
and
a
everything
fine
else,
point on it, you know, this is what's worked for us. But the biggest thing, try your gear, put it on, shake it down, get out to the range, see what works and doesn't for you. Because, I mean, obviously there's a lot of the basics are the same across the board for us. But, I mean, there's little differences as far as, you know, where things are placed, how you want it oriented. And the only way you figure that out is with training. You know, just get after it, see what works for you.
Right. And two, shooting, I mean, getting used to pulling your gun out of these type of retention holster. I mean, it definitely takes time to train and figure out getting your draw right and figure out where you want to place it. And echoing what Blake said, everybody's going to be different. You might want to put something on a different side, or you know, you might have this switch, but you know, the reason why we have this here is because you can actually pull us out and get to it closer to my dominant hand, which is why this is here. But for me, for my belt, I feel like just you could cheap out on the dump pouch and what holds your IFAK. Definitely get a decent holster, but like he said, get a good belt. And Blake, I don't know if you want to piggyback off of that, and if
yeah, man. I mean, as far as like getting the belt, I mean that's your base. You know, I mean, if you don't have a good platform to start from, you know, you need that foundation.
You made that mistake, so you can.
I did. I was about to say I can speak to that. When I first started getting into firearms and training and all that kind of stuff, I went the cheap Amazon special route, and you get what you pay for. You find that out the hard way very quick.
They convinced me out of that too.
So yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of good options you can get into for a relative budget. I mean, inside of $200, there is a lot of just phenomenal setups you can start to get going. I'm not like complete, you know, you're not looking at everything here for $200. But there's a lot of good stuff there. Back on the IFAK thing, best rule of thumb, we're talking about the training aspect of it. Don't put anything in your IFAK you don't know how to use.
Right.
Too many times you hear about those horror stories of, you know, somebody improperly applying an insert medical item here, and it just, if you don't know what you're doing, don't put it in there. It's just waste.
Absolutely.
We love decompression needles.
Exactly. Take some medical training, get some courses going. We'll figure out what you're doing, and then you can start adding that in. So for your most average civilians, that's where it boils down to, just that basic stop the bleed baseline.
Absolutely.
That's really about all there is to it. I mean, like I said earlier, biggest thing is just figure out what works for you. Get out and train.
Yeah.
You don't even have to get out and train. When you buy this, go LARP in your freaking house. Do reloads. I mean, I've reconfigured this. I haven't messed with it in years, but as soon as I got it, I reconfigured how I had it, because I sat there and I actually dry fired and did reloads and did all that stuff at home without going to the range once.
And you can sit there for hours doing that, you know.
Absolutely.
Maybe you want your mag carriers a little further over. Maybe you find out when you bend it pokes you. I mean, you name it. But that, like I said, that's the big thing. It's just figuring out what works for you.
Another thing I will add, if you have other kit like chest rigs and plate carriers, put that on at home and figure out how you have this set up, because I've thrown on my chest rig and I could not pull out my 5.56 mag pouch, and I had to tweak that.
Yeah.
So if you start adding more kit on, put it on all together and make sure it works, because you might have had it perfectly set up, and then as soon as you throw a plate carrier on, all of a sudden now you can't even get your reload.
Yeah.
So definitely put it on at home, figure out, do dry firing with it, and figure out if it works.
Yeah, absolutely. He's right on point when it comes to that, because for the rig that I have, when I put this on, I had to adjust this so that way when I would go to reload, I could pull that magazine out. Because if you have a chest rig or plate carrier built out and you can't access your mags, your belt's not doing anything but getting in the way. And figure that out before you finally figure out what's best for you and where to place the different items. So wrapping everything up, is there anything else that y'all think of that you want to add for like people that are just getting started? Some tips or recommendations and advice, maybe not cheaping out, or
I mean, that's the main thing. Is going to be just make sure you get a good belt to start with, because otherwise you're going to end up I mean, they say buy once, cry once. That applies to guns really, especially with kit like this. If you go spend $50 on a belt from Amazon even, it's going to fall apart in a year or two, and then you're going to end up spending $175 later, and then think about all that, you could have bought all these other accessories with that money that you wasted, basically. That's kind of the gist of it.
Now, to temper that same point, though, I mean, don't fall for the Instagram hype crap. You know, I mean, you don't necessarily need to come out the gate with cry or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, get something from a reputable brand that is going to hold up, but I mean, don't feel like you have to spend the top dollar every single time.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's definitely more expensive belts out there than what we have, but everything that we
100%.
have right here will work perfectly well, and we've been running it. So.
Yeah. For me, don't go overkill, because they're like Blake was talking about earlier. People put way too much crap on your belt, and you can't move around and you can't get to anything because
Start with this.
just this. I mean, this is bare minimum base.
Holster, ammo, so ammo to feed your gun. That's it.
You can do drills with that all day long. And
Absolutely.
then the next thing I would add is probably going to be an IFAC.
100%.
And then if you want a dump pouch or whatever else you want to add. But yeah, I mean, that's all I had. My belt used to be naked for a very long time. There was a holster on it, and then there was 2 pistol reloads and a rifle reload. And that's it for like over a year. So.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I guess wrapping it up, give some advice to our viewers. Ooh. Whoever's ready, yeah.
I mean, my advice would be try to find good friends, good people to train with. Like getting out here and doing stuff like this and spending time with good people. Don't surround yourself with idiots, or you will be an idiot.
Yeah, he's looking at me. Go ahead, Blake.
Oh, man. Not a dad yet. Can't give any advice. I'm sorry.
Anyway. Well, guys, we really appreciate y'all watching. If y'all have any comments or questions, put it down in the comments below. We'll get back as as needed. And if there's anything that y'all you differ or we like better, or
recommendations.
recommendations for maybe something that we can change or that you have that might be better than what we got. Throw it down in the comments below what works for y'all. But other than that, thanks for watching this episode of Lead Junkies. We really appreciate y'all watching, and see y'all next time.